habe ihm gesagt, er soll dir schreiben, wenn er bereit ist.
So they should be. I think they're ready to go. How's the chat doing? I think they're just getting ready, but we should be ready to go. Awesome.
You ready, nah? Okay. Alright. Yo! Thanks for tuning in and welcome to Jamestown Divine for co-op playing with me, TheHeadyBear, Chris Green, machomanmo, and Yoshi, and we're playing this straight through without scoring. We were trying to get a high score, but our main focus is technically to get through without dying too much. Let's go.
Nice.
We're riding this game.
This would be cool.
Come on,
People always want the co-op.
Let's freaking go.
We got the co-op.
Alrighty. Yeah, let's get it going.
So you're probably wondering why he's wearing that hat.
Because it's a sick hat, that's why.
Well, no, Yellow is actually using the gunnership, which is a...
Oh, nice, nice.
Who's wearing a hat as well.
You know what's funny is I'm from Idaho, so people wear cowboy hats like all the time. So I didn't even think twice about it. I'm like, oh yeah, he's in a cowboy hat, no big deal. Ain't no thing.
No, so this is Jamestown Plus. The original Jamestown was released in 2014 on Steam. This game, as you can see, is horizontal. It's designed to be played in co-op, but it can also be played with less than 4 players. HP scaling will make sure that it's possible as well. This is Jamestown Plus, which I don't remember when the first Jamestown Plus came out, but Westquote should know. Well, would obviously know that.
Right.
But this is the Switch version they're playing right now, which came out, well, December 2019.
Any particular reason why they're doing the Switch version?
Well, oh yeah, let's talk about what... I don't know why they chose that specifically, but well, let's just talk about what this is in general.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
why are they playing this? So these players, or rather the Core Gamer Treff, the thing you see, is a venue in Germany, and it's basically for people that want to play in co-op or competitively, like versus stuff. So not only one of these players is actually a player who plays more shmups and is known in the community, which is Yoshi. The other one's TheHeadyBear, playing Yellow and being the gunner right now, is... what? He prefers to just play retro games in general. machomanmo, on the right, the playing blue, is a fighting game player. Chris Green just plays any games. And yeah, as you see, Yoshi, who also goes by the name Linie, Eber, is red, and he's also playing the treason ship with blue, machomanmo, which in my opinion is the best ship in the game.
Nice.
Green is using the what's it called? The beam, I think.
Let it rock. The
keep messing
Jodanpachi
up.
laser. Just call it that.
It actually is that. There's also another ship called Laser, but it's not laser. It's beam.
Nice.
Yeah, it actually works like a Jodanpachi laser as well, as in you get close and you will deal more damage.
Right. Yeah, well...
Otherwise, I'm not aware of point blanking really being a thing in this game.
Oh my god. Nicely done. Well, that's cool he has a venue. Maybe in the future he'll do some like more shmup events there and stuff.
That's actually something he's planning to do. Yeah, well, let's see how it goes. I don't know any specifics on what he's planning to do, but he's certainly gotten been more interested in. Kiwi's texting. Well, whatever. Yeah, he's gained an interest in the shmup genre. So let's see what the venue will do.
Yeah, well,
As I said, I don't know specifics.
what's cool about this run too is that when I do videos just on like, oh, recommended shmups or shmups on the Switch, yada yada, like Jamestown Plus is a huge request. People seem to really be finding this game. You know, it's like a great entry point that people find to get into the genre. So I think it's cool they're doing a 4-player co-op, you know, because again, we don't see many co-op runs and that sort of thing, and they can be really chaotic, and so you need a good amount of team coordination going on.
Yeah, especially based on what you want to do. If you actually want to score stuff, man, the routing you want to do there, because with all characters you still have to deal with the same amount of items and stuff.
Yeah.
So
it looks like they do have some team coordination going on, though, for sure.
Yeah. Talking about that, Yoshi, since he is kind of the shmup player of all these 4 players, is the person that basically kind of helped them also route and understand. These guys are not. This is a German venue. I'm getting questions here.
Oh, you're answering questions in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're on. This is stage 2, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Stage 2, the second part is kind of. Well, it can be a mess based on which ship you have. There's a lot of, but they're doing well because since they are 4 players, even with the higher amount of HP, they can still take out a lot of the stuff just before it gets dangerous.
Yeah, I like the way they're covering the screen. They got the Yoshi. He's yellow, right? He's up. Oh, he's red. Never mind.
Yoshi is red.
Yeah, they got the yellow player up top, kind of sniping things from the side, and then they have the other guys hanging back and sort of maintaining screen control from the center. That's a clever strategy.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, this game was more designed with co-op and multiplayer in mind. Isn't that right? Like, it's not as single player focused as most other shmups are.
Yeah, well, the thing is, many people will still end up playing it solo because, well, it's hard to just play in.
Right.
It's hard to play organized to play co-op, so many just don't get to experience this at all.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a wonder that we get to see this now.
Yeah, I think the closest I've seen to co-op runs recently is like when people solo double play 2 ships and stuff.
Oh, yeah, no.
Which is impressive.
Well, yeah. This boss is entirely RNG, by the way, so its movement is random, and the pattern it chooses is random as well. The second one, yeah, you just take out those. I think the positioning of those is also random, so this is just RNG, the boss. Honestly, if you want to do a solo Divine run, no miss, this will take the most practice.
I remember you telling me that this game has a good amount of RNG in it, right? Like, you can't...
Not that much, it really depends. It's really just this boss, which is the RNG. But there's still other, like, this is only the second to highest difficulty, but it's still a good difficulty.
Yeah.
It's actually, in my opinion, the best difficulty. Judgment difficulty is just hell. I'm currently routing that in the original Jamestown, and yeah, it's a pain to deal with, but it's also kind of fun if you get serious with it.
So as you get to the higher difficulties of awesome. As you get into the higher difficulties, what are the changes, right? Like when you go from normal and so forth, like what are the things that are getting changed when you increase the difficulty?
Finde ich das wirklich einer mit der schwersten Bosse in ganz Jamestown. Personally, it's the most difficult boss in Jamestown, besides Conquest.
Sorry. People keep talking here. Judgment is the difficulty that's actually very different from all the others. Whereas the first 4 difficulties are just have more bullets and stuff and aren't that different in any other aspects. Judgment has an extra property where, or rather, mechanic where some bullets are green rings and you cannot cancel them with your wand.
Oh, okay.
Now let's talk about the wand a bit. The wand has 3 phases. It basically, upon initiating wand, you get a shield which absorbs bullets. except for green orbs, as stated before. It also grants you invincibility to everything except green rings. Then you have the phase where your shots are just simply stronger. And you can extend this period of time as long as you want by collecting more of the items. So you can still charge the meter even while in Vaunt. But as soon as you cancel your Vaunt, which you can do manually, or rather as soon as you manually cancel the Vaunt, you gain invincibility again, this time also to green rings, which again, it's not, we won't actually see that in this difficulty. I'm just mentioning that. You can also have it run out. So if it runs out automatically, because the gauge gets empty, you will just get more points than you would otherwise.
Oh, I see.
So for scoring, you want to have it run out. Scoring this game is actually a lot more interesting than I previously assumed. I'm currently routing. That was exciting. I currently am routing this.
So what are the kind of key things you need to do to get your score nice and high? Like, what are the main strategies?
For the most part, it's basically starting your first Vaunt rather soon and then maintaining it. But that's mostly for solo. If you want to do this in co-op, I couldn't really tell you everything.
It's a mystery.
But the thing is, no, it's not really a mystery. It's just I have no way to actually find out like specifics and stuff. But you see the bottom left multiplier, which is kind of covered a bit by the name.
Right, the 1x we see right now.
Yeah, that value is always 2 to the power of the amount of players currently in Vaunt. So that means if you play solo, you can only get that to 2 times.
Right.
While being in Vaunt. But if you have 4 players, all of them being in Vaunt, then the multiplier is times 16.
Oh, wow. So it's a big deal having multiple players. Like, theoretically, if you want the highest score possible, you'd want 4 really good players playing. And that would get you a higher score than a single player who knew what they were doing.
Yeah. At the start, when I first played this, I was kind of turned off by this system until I noticed that the game does have a leaderboard which filters the amount of players you have.
Ah, nice.
So you can just look up solo leaderboard and stuff.
Well, that's cool. So the idea is they want to make the amount of players on screen like different scoring modes in a way.
Westcourt is bringing up something very good, which I've seen before, but obviously I would not be able to confirm it. But Westcourt says that the best way to score is by having one person, basically, I'm just gonna call it full Vaunt, like it would be a full chain, but instead you just Vaunt as long as possible until the boss, where it's hard to actually extend it.
This is just crazy, and we have so much fun with this game because we have so much variety.
Yeah, I'm turning
in
this audio real quick.
That we can take with different weapon types and different chip types. This is just nice.
So they were saying that they really enjoy the game because there's a lot of variety in the types of weapons and ships that you can play. What ship do you play, or what ship? You're saying that the red ship is pretty much the best one, right?
The blue and the red one I just like the most.
Oh, okay.
It's it makes up very well for the lack of players or the lack of area you can cover.
Right.
By having the missiles you charge and release. So this is actually a stage that's not in the original game. This stage was added in the Jamestown Plus version.
Oh, okay. So there's an actual difference.
Yeah, this is there is more content in Jamestown Plus. The treason ships are not necessarily more content, but they are now part of the base game in Jamestown Plus. In the original Jamestown, they were DLC.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they added in the DLC.
Yeah. I know I wanted to say something, but I forgot. Great. Oh, this is the only instance in the game where there's actually a mid-boss that holds your progress, as in it holds the scrolling. This is the only time you actually get that to happen. So in the original, that would never be the case.
It's kind of like the wall in Grega. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
destroying those logs will open the gate, and now the stage becomes very different. Now you have to deal with a lot of insects there.
You know, there does need to be something said about this game's like unique scenery and unique concept, right? You're playing in like this, I don't even know what, like like cyber, what is it? Not cyberpunk, steampunk medieval magic type thing. I don't know what to call it, but it's really it seems to connect with a lot of people and makes the game stand out more than a lot of the other shmups that come out, I think.
Yeah, I remember now what I wanted to say. The best way to score if you have multiple players is by having one person Vaunt, and the score, the amount of points you actually get when canceling the Vaunt does kind of exponentially increase. So that's why you want to Vaunt as long as possible. Something like 90 seconds or more would be good for stage 1, for example. And then once you get those points, while getting them, the multiplier still does affect them. So you want that person that held the chain, the Vaunt, the longest. You then want, while that one gets cancelled, you want all the other players to be in Vaunt.
Oh, okay. So you gotta do some real coordinated.
Yeah, that's why I say that. So that's why I say that scoring this would be is definitely a very coordinated effort. This pattern is hard, especially because you don't know who it targets. That's a very targeted attack.
Oh yeah.
But
that's
if
always
it
the
doesn't
hard
target
part.
one person, yeah, that's what makes this that's what kind of makes this nerve-wracking to also just watch, because you don't really know what the enemies are always going to do.
Right, because they could be targeting a different player based on just small differences from run to run, right?
Yeah.
So how does the extend system work in this game, especially with 4
That's-
players and all that?
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to mention at some point, which is if you play solo, you have lives, but once you have more than one player playing, lives do not exist anymore. Instead, you revive each other.
Oh, okay. So as long as one person's alive on screen, there's like, I'm guessing there's some kind of timer to revive or something like that?
Yeah, you can either collect a revive item, which is, for example, that thing with the one. It will revive one. Or there's a cooldown. I haven't paid attention much to it personally, but apparently the timer does go up every time.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
Also, this is cool. I kind of felt like one of the patterns we saw in Akuk Galet, or what it was called, earlier, looked like this, with the wings going outward, and then that was funny to see. They're always happy. So that's how many stages? That's the 4th out of 7 stages we're doing.
Wow, a 7-stager, huh?
Yeah, 5 plus the 2 extra stages.
So I'm kind of picking up on kind of the strategy here, is where, like you're saying, Yoshi, the red player, if all else fails, he just has to kind of hang in there until his teammates can respond.
Yeah.
It reminds me of playing a lot of co-op games with my brothers and stuff. Kind of a similar system, like in Halo, where you get killed, you're like, okay, run away, then you can respawn your brother or whatever it is.
Another thing, because we were talking about lives, they still don't want to die too much because there's a credit counter at the bottom. You don't have infinite credits.
Oh, okay.
So there's still a chance. A run may just end at some point. So they might actually not see the end if they are unlucky. Those blue lines are funny. They're aimed above the player.
Oh.
But there's also other bullets, red bullets, in the stage shot by some enemy that shoots below the player. Those.
I wonder why they do that. Just to kind of give them a weird feel.
There's multiple instances of weird aiming like that happening. So there's a section in Judgment where I am routing it in a way that right somewhere around here I just stay in one spot and just take out as much as I can with the missiles while not moving because nothing hits me.
Right, yeah. That's always something you gotta watch out for. Is that you always want to make sure you can't just hold still and kill like half the stage just by holding still.
KZ, the stage with the walls is not after this one. After this one will be the second extra stage. So this stage has a lot of weird stuff going on, by the way, which I keep noticing is where some enemies appear sometimes and sometimes they don't. Sometimes I can't figure out the conditions, but not always. Sometimes I just don't know why enemies don't appear or do appear. Ideally, in Judgment, you don't want any of them to appear, any of those optionals, because some of them can just ruin everything.
So, is there a rank system for this game or anything like that?
None that I've noticed. I don't think so.
Okay. Even when you're playing in multiplayer, like do the stage patterns or boss patterns alter at all, other than the aiming thing we talked about earlier?
One thing I completely failed to mention is the stage 3 boss. We saw it having like 8 phases or something, the stage 3 boss. What I completely failed to mention, or rather just didn't manage to do before it was over, is that it has 2 additional phases for every player on the screen.
Ah, okay.
So if you play, yes, but that's a very unique exception. So the stage 3 boss, if you play solo, only has 4 phases. Or maybe it had 10, which would make more sense mathematically.
I'm not keeping track.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has more, that's all we need to know.
Yeah, I think I'm just used to it because they did do a stream earlier, but only 3 of them were present. So
right. It looks like they're holding their own so far. As far
Westquad points another interesting thing out, is that a lot of enemies, especially major ones, have extra conditions, and if you fulfill them while killing those enemies, they will drop more, which is good for scoring, of course. But the conditions, now here's a change in Jamestown Plus that I do not understand, maybe Westquote could explain, is that in the original Jamestown, if you fulfill that requirement, it would say special. There would be a pop-up text saying special. It doesn't do so in Plus, which is a weird change.
Huh. Taking a break between the stage. That is interesting when shmups kind of have like a little bit of a break between the stages. You can sometimes use, sometimes not.
Oh, a little bit piracy.
Holy shit, that laughing emoji on YouTube is weird. So this is the second extra stage. It's you will notice soon that that crab with the beam is awesome. You will notice there's enemies which shoot bombs into the air. Those are very nasty because and there will be a lot of instances of those appearing. So if they shoot bombs in the air, they will eventually land on the floor, on the ground. And if they do, they will spawn a lot of bullets.
Oh, okay.
Which are very dangerous. Now you can shoot them while they're in the air.
Right.
But if you don't, you have a big issue.
Oh, okay.
One good way, if you can't deal with it, is to still vaunt around it, so you can then absorb all the bullets and everyone else is safe. We will see that a lot during the boss fight.
Okay. Oh, I get it.
In fact,
so they're like top priority.
They're a big priority because they can put everyone in danger. It's amazing. These big cannons those are very nasty.
Yeah.
In fact, I haven't spent much time with Jamestown Plus, so I don't even know the stage too well. So playing this is kind of chaotic still.
I can imagine everyone who plays this stage for the first time gets nailed by that crab. Because it's so unexpected. That bee flies right off its back. Oh, this reminds me of Mushi. With the bugs coming out of the ground and everything.
Yeah. It does. I think we're very close to the next enemy that's actually very nasty again. And it's so nasty that I think they're having one player dedicated to using a Vaunt on it, so
Nice.
they can just kill it. There's a lot of that. So there's when they're not
Oh, there's
really
the grab
going for.
bomb. There it went.
Yeah. That the boss will shoot a lot of those, by the way. So they just have one player hovering it because those kind of swishy circle things. I don't know what I'm saying. Are aimed in a very, very weird way. I've never dodged it in solo. I get hit every time. So they just have one person hovering it and canceling them with a wand.
So, what are there any training options for this game? Like, you know, practice mode and all that kind of stuff?
Kiwi. What we're seeing right now is the Super Gauntlet. There's a gauntlet, just a regular gauntlet, which is the same gauntlet from the original Jamestown, which just has these 5 stages. This is the Super Gauntlet, which includes all the stages plus the extra Mars stages, or how they're called,
Oh,
the
boy.
Plus Jamestown Plus stages. The reason it's just that's the gauntlet is that normally you would only play the stages individually and then unlock the next one until that's how you progress.
Right.
Is that you actually don't play all the stages at once.
Oh, weird.
So this is something you unlock, in fact. Gauntlet is something you unlock. There.
So it's like
Yosh.
the arcade mode, essentially.
Yeah, this is the arcade mode, basically.
That's interesting.
Earlier, they always... Whoever has a wand will take care of those bombs. I don't know if they have an order, because I've never actually seen them get into a scenario where both of them use a wand at the same time. So I don't know if they have like a priority or something made out. I don't know how they routed this exactly.
So what are the hitboxes in this game like? Are they pretty chunky? Are they small? You know, relatively speaking to most bullet hells?
They're big enough. I think they're big enough to hit you, but you can still dodge stuff. So stuff like that chunky, those chunky shots, you don't want to be in those.
Right.
The chances are very high you're just going to die. So you're not going to experience Mushima-sama moments.
Right. It's more about macro dodging and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you don't want to micro dodge too much in this game at all, honestly. Most of the time anyway. Yeah, they haven't lost a single credit.
Nice.
They haven't lost a single credit yet, which is great. In training, they did get hit a few more times. So this is a good run right now.
They're feeling the vibes. They're feeling the
Yeah.
live demonstration vibes. Sometimes you can play crazy good, or other times you lose your mind and die tragically, which might happen to me today. I'm putting that on the table now.
This is a very unique stage. It has environmental aspects, as in like walls and stuff. And the way it's laid out basically makes it a labyrinth with also branching paths. So this is a very unique stage in that regard.
So I have to ask, can you run into the walls, or do the walls kill you?
You can get squished. You can touch the walls, but you can get squished.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
In fact, you can get squished even while being invincible.
Oh, nice. It's like a Mario,
So,
you know, the star
yeah.
doesn't save you from everything sometimes.
It really doesn't. In fact, it can get so bad. Since you can't just spawn anywhere, there's some kind of checkpoint system where, based on the progress, you will spawn there or there. Now it's possible if you don't know those checkpoints too well, you would mess up so badly that you just lose multiple lives by getting squished the same way because you just lose composure.
Right.
It can happen very easily. So 2 are going on each path.
Right.
I prefer using the right path for judgment. It's much better, or safer, because there's a very janky place where you can shoot through.
Any idea why they split up like that instead of just all going on the right side?
No, I don't know. I don't know the reasoning behind every decision they do, but I mean, you get more points, of course, because you get all the enemies.
Right.
honestly, at this in this, it's safer to just focus on one side because the other side isn't too dangerous. You just want to get rid of those sort of things that spawn enemies because they're dangerous. That's like something you want to take out for survival real fast. What we saw there was there's sometimes enemies on this stage or stage 3, if you count the original Jamestown way, where there's enemies that are just pairs of enemies, and they're shooting at each other. But if one of them dies, the other one will just shoot, based on which color it is, will shoot a pattern that's dangerous for you. So in double play, it would be good to destroy both simultaneously.
Oh, that's cool.
There.
Yeah,
They
that's cool.
destroyed them before the other one had a chance to shoot.
It seems like the game is designed to try and like make sure you're coordinating with your teammates on some level, right? Like you're saying, where you have to kill things at the same time, and you have to be careful where the patterns track who and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, this is actually something where I can point out something that's a weird, maybe glitch or something. But the screen scrolling is kind of messed up right now if you die, where it's more to the right for some reason. So if one player were to, example, go for the left, it would be more centered.
What? That's crazy. Did they get past it, or is that still gonna happen?
I think maybe my explanation was wrong because that reaction wasn't really what I expected.
I was imagining that like one half of the screen is scrolling, and the other half is holding still. Is that what happened?
No, that's not what I meant. It's just weird how it's just if they're all in the center, it will still be more to the left. But I guess it's working right now. Maybe that's just a single player thing because there it can definitely happen.
Oh. Yeah, for a second I was like, whoa, how'd they miss that? Like half the stage goes by, the other half's stuck.
No. That was a bad explanation. This is nasty, as you can tell, because you don't know what targets. But then there's this, which is mostly static, I think. This is kind of dangerous.
Ooh.
You can dodge it, but I don't. They're not doing it the way that one would expect. This guy is now. This is the final boss.
Yeah, he looks like a final boss.
Yeah, and it's there. I think they're gonna lose credits here, to be honest, because it's hard.
Does having 4 players offer any advantage, or is it like that thing where it's gonna have more patterns and stuff because there's 4 of them?
No more patterns. In fact, there's no real disadvantage. It's just the fact that these lasers are very dangerous, and they can easily just take out a lot of players. Another thing is every phase, which is not the second phase, the boss will be covered by a shield. You can destroy it by destroying those cubes. So you cannot actually hurt the boss. You cannot destroy the boss itself right now. You cannot hurt the boss. At the same time, the boss will slowly regenerate health. I think it regenerates health faster on Judgment, maybe. I'm not sure. This is an easy phase, and they're just blocking. So this is a very nasty phase. I hate this one. The laser movement is not nice. Only one alive. Revive. Oh, this is going really well. They're doing really well. Man.
Yeah. I'm like just watching it in awe. There's so much stuff going on. So they're really needing to target those cubes, otherwise they're not going to be able to damage, right?
Final phase. Yeah, they need to destroy those cubes. Those cubes can also block the enemy's projectiles, which is good in solo especially. This is... Yeah, you're safe at the side, but still you want to go out of the way quick enough. No one has a wand right now, so let's see. Oh, 1 CC. Okay.
Nicely done. Nicely
That's actually awesome. I did not expect the 1 CC at all.
Nicely done, my dude.
We all revived this perfectly. This was the best run we had. Oh my god. And this live on stream.
I'll turn it up a bit.
Oh my freaking god.
Yeah, you actually get a big bonus. You get a bigger bonus if you have no continue. So 20%.
Let's see. We go to the leaderboard. No, not try again.
No. Amazing. It's actually he pressed try again by accident, which can happen. It happened to me as well. It's so, for some reason that's the default option even after a gauntlet run.
It didn't raise his score, did it?
I don't think so. No.
Where are they? Are they number 2 there?
24 million. We had 24 million. We had to score.
Oh, they did. Oh no, they forgot to submit. That is very unfortunate. That is sad.
Well, we have it on tape though. We have it on tape.
Yeah, we do.
Someone mail them on. Be like, yo, or the developer be like, yo, put this score on there.
We had a great time. We had a great.
That is so funny.
Oh no.
Oh man, why?
This was actually their secondary goal as well, is to get on top of the leaderboard. So.
Well, did they have a big enough score though?
Yeah, we have the Ellen.
I don't remember. I didn't look. But apparently they did have 24 million, so at least it was very good.
Fix this because we got the world record.
Oh yeah, he said that they got it.
Yeah.
Definitely from. Oh my god, this is
that is such a. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in a shmup ever. That it's like, don't submit the scores the default. That is so funny. I'm sure we can get it fixed though, right?
What,
like if they message the mod and show them this video, I'm sure they can get it fixed.
I mean, Westcourt is right here.
We got the
Westcourt, please.
Wow, okay, nice.
That is so funny.
Alright, okay.
It auto updates, okay.
Oh man.
Oh, okay, cool. So then it's not a big deal. I was about to say, yeah, that would have been crazy.
Why?
Nicely played, my dudes. Nicely played. That was really cool.